Hey, what's
Not
up?
much.
Well, I'm Feedme. I make videos. A lot of people just know me for shitting on a lot of like casters and stuff, but I make videos and I watch too much Starcraft, and that's about it, really. So I know I just watch everything, so I know everything. That's about it.
Alright. I just realized my microphone was muted on stream. So that's a great start. But thank you, Feed Me, for that introduction.
desRow.
Alright, Jonah, tell us more about you and what you've been up to lately.
I'm Jona. I play Zerg for AT Gaming, and that's about it.
Okay,
Stream.
yeah. Jonah is a big fan of Muta Corruptors and DreamHack. I've been casting him every time Summer, DreamHack Valencia. And Harstem, for people that may not know your selfie craziness, tell us more about you.
Well, this is my year. Let me introduce real. Pros player for Fnatic. Been playing full time for 2 years now. WCS Premier. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Which season? Season 1? Season 2?
Right now.
Yeah? Season 3? And
yeah,
season 2?
Okay. Yeah, season.
Okay. So we have a lot to talk about today. We wanted... So basically, just a little bit of intro, how this started. Me and Feed Me,
I'm just gonna tell you to be quiet for a second. Can you turn it up so people can hear?
Oh, you guys are too quiet?
Seeing as this is like the first show, we're gonna have a lot of fucking fuck-ups with sound and stuff. Because
Okay.
desRow's never done stuff like this, so...
Yeah, okay.
Be patient with us in chat, and we'll get it done easy.
Okay. Yes.
Don't worry. We got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. We, me and Feed Me were prepared, but then we decided to do like something right before the show, and it threw us off guard a little bit. So yeah, guys, but yeah, a little bit of intro to, me and Feed Me wanted to do this show because the other Starcraft shows weren't talking about everything, and we were like, they should talk about this. This doesn't make sense, you know, and we were like revolting, and so this is the rebellion of me and Feed Me against the other shows, and this is how this project started. There's a lot to talk about today. There's Proleague last weekend, Redbull, Codes is going to start again, WCS is going to start again, and of course the Destiny 1 tournament. So we'll get started with that. Proleague is the first order of business today. What did you guys think of Proleague, the Proleague final that we had, what, Saturday?
Well, I think first, the entire season compared to last season is like a million times better with Wolf and Brendan, even though they're not that good. Like, they could be better, but I think Wolf towards the end of the season has like really gotten a lot better, but his like knowledge of the game is fucking terrible. But no, like he's gotten a lot better, but if his knowledge was like a lot better, if he played the game, you can definitely tell. Either towards the end of the season, he just got way better, I guess.
Yeah, he got more hyped and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how his voice was breaking every once in a while during the finals.
Yeah, for the finals, he actually did what he's supposed to do like every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then even step it up more for the finals. It felt like the casters, like taking over the complete season, they're like okay, but it feels for Pro League they should be better because Pro League is the biggest thing in team leagues at least. Especially knowledge-wise, like you have Moonglade for Zerg, but Wolf really has a lot of bad calls. Almost every cast he has 8 to like somewhere between 8 and 25 bad calls, just like outright wrong. And Brandon just agrees with him every time, so they really need to work on their game knowledge.
Yeah, because Brendan has his role as the guy who shouldn't really know everything, but I feel like Wolf, because he used to play the game like quite at a high level, so I think he could play the game a bit more often and actually know what he's talking about, and he would be a lot better. And I just think the whole... Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, sorry. I think it's noticeable that he doesn't even watch other tournaments. I really feel like he only follows Pro League and maybe some of like GSL. I don't feel like he watches StarCraft next to like his own casting. So a lot of the meta changes that are happening but don't happen in the games he actually watches, he doesn't catch on to as quickly as other casters will, even though most casters don't play the game.
So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think Wolf and Kaldor lived the esports dream for far too long in Korea. Sure, they put in a lot of hard work to get there, but as soon as they got there, they like didn't care so much about practicing and didn't care so much about like trying to watch everything. Like, of course, you know, if you have a day job, you kind of want to have a life outside of your day job. But when your job is to be on point with, when someone has to do the analysis, someone has to sacrifice himself and like put a lot of time outside of casting, and no one did. It really reflected poorly on them. And yeah, Moonglade was there to save the day, and Moonglade is just, you know, like a really good player, and he had a lot of good insight.
I think having Moonglade like come in halfway through the season really like helped it completely. Otherwise, it would have just been kind of like last season. But this season, with the new venue and everything, with Spot TV doing it all instead of OGN, I think did like half of the season, didn't they? So they had like a consistent venue and bigger crowds, and people just kept turning up, and it really like revitalized Starcraft in Korea. You can kind of tell by the crowds by the end, and especially the finals, you saw how many people turned up. It was like 2,500 by the end or something. I saw on Twitter. So that's about it. Apparently, I'm too loud compared to everyone else.
Okay, well, maybe you can lower your volume on Skype just a little bit. So, did you guys watch the finals when it comes down to the matches? I know there was a lot of Protoss winning and a lot of Zergs. So Jona playing Zerg and me and Harstem playing Protoss. We should have watched a bunch of the matches.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't watch everything, like especially like the playoffs. I didn't really bother watching, but I watched the finals at least. And the ZVZs weren't very interesting. They were just kind of like replays of what has happened in the past. And the one game that interested me was the Sulky game against what's his face, Stats. And Sulky tried to do what he was doing like half a year ago when he was like super successful, but like it tweaked. Like he made even less swarm hosts and tried to make a lot of corruptors and overwhelm. And it kind of felt like it got a bit of like spark, and it seemed like it was about to work, and then it just got smashed really hard again. So I think it's time that Korea transitions to like a different style.
Oh, you think they need to get on board with the Swarmos?
I'm not sure at this point. I feel like there's three ways to play. It's the timings, like the roach timings or Hydra timings, like stuff like that. That still kind of works against like the quick expand. There's Muta that still works. And there's like super passive Swarmos, but I feel like the first two options are susceptible to like a really good Protoss.
Yeah.
In most cases, like Su has played so well every season and got stumped PvZ in the finals every time, and I think part of the reason is that the styles are more tricks or more like if they're not fully prepared, it can work really well, but if someone has your number, it's really difficult to play.
Yeah. What do you think, Harstem?
About the first game? It was Outbox, wasn't it? Yeah. I have no idea what Soki was doing there. Like, he was winning so hard, but if he just gets like... He had 5 Swarm hosts instead of like 15, which you kind of need, and then he went Mascoraptor, which made very little sense to me as well. Like, I just don't... It was so weird to me. Because he even killed 2 Colossi. Imagine what would have happened if he wouldn't have killed those 2. Like, he would have got stomped even harder.
Yeah.
So that shows that the strategy shouldn't really work. Unless you count on always killing the 2 Colossi, which isn't really a thing you can count on. So I thought it was a very weird strategy, an old strategy. Maybe he was trying to trick stats. We don't know. Maybe there was some background that normally Soki would build more. He wanted him to build like a ton of Colossi. Because the more normal response for Protoss nowadays is the moment that they see Swarm hosts, they start going into double Robo and they start pumping up to 5 or 6 Colossi. I think this is what Soki was trying to achieve by getting like a few Swarm hosts out, showing that he had Locust. And then you get like 25 Corruptors. The guy has like 6 Colossi and 10 Stalkers and a few Sentries. They just completely overwhelm him with your Corruptors. He doesn't have any ground army left, and then you just morph your Broodlords and win the game. But Stats went for double Stargate off of 1 Robo, I believe. So it was a just kind of like Soki just lost the game.
Well, desRow, don't type when he's talking. And
that was me.
Because Stats has played that game like 3 games in a row. That map, I mean, he's played it, so he's like prepared so well on that map. I think Soki could have probably prepared a bit better because it was pretty like. Even like it's so one-sided for Stats. I think because Sulky just picked off 2 Colossus really on with just Lings. Like if he had those 2 Colossus, he could have just smashed right through it like a lot quicker. Like I just don't know like what Sulky was doing really.
Yeah, I think, did you guys, I know, Jonah, that's not your expertise, but Harstem, did you see the parting game?
Yeah.
He did that build on Outboxer, like the Blink, like fake, all-in with the third, with the 2 Colossus. He did it on Outboxer. It felt very weird to me that he would try it on Merry-Go-Round, because it's so wide, and the force fields don't cover as much. And then he just got overwhelmed, and he had to run back, and he died, like, pretty painfully. And also, I don't know if you remember, but his War Prism didn't do anything. I think it got scouted, and he just left it on the left side of the map. So yeah, that was pretty sad. Like, I think Parting versus Flash could have been a great match, and it just ended up Parting just not playing super well compared to how he can play.
No, but he always just plays strategies like this in PvT. He either does the Blink into Prism, very late Colossi, late Forges, normally even up to 5 gate before he adds Forges, and otherwise he does the 5 gate Colossus pressure, and then takes a third base, kind of early, fakes an all-in, kind of contains his opponent. If he gets a CC on the low ground, he kills it. And then he goes into later Blink, and again, after 5 gate, the Forges. However, all these builds kind of bank on your opponent responding to your gimmicks, which Flash didn't really do. Like, he didn't overcommit at all to defend against the Blink, because he didn't see any Stalkers at all. I think he even saw the gases quite early on. He had like a little Marine force, right? Like
Yeah,
4
he
or
had
5
like 4
Marines.
Marines, went all around
Yeah.
the map and just stimmed in and killed a few probes.
Killed like 5 pros, but more importantly, he
Yeah.
also saw like the gases and stuff like that, so he knew it wasn't an all-in. He didn't have to commit to anything. Then the most natural follow-up to this is a Prism, so Flash knew, even if he wouldn't have scouted it, I think he saw it indeed, but even if he didn't, like, he still should have been prepared, and then he just followed up with an SCV pool, which is almost unstoppable on Merry-Go-Round in a normal situation, but being down 2 upgrades is like impossible to hold, because Terran's gonna have 2-1, and you're gonna be stuck on 1-1, and you'll just lose the game.
It was a really weird push out as well. When he came out, like, and he just saw Flash, I think he should have just like done it and then pulled back. It'd have been a lot better. But there isn't much he could have done after that point.
Yeah.
Especially on Merry-Go-Round as well.
Yeah, that's very true. So that was mostly the highlight of this. I mean, the PvP...
Wait, you can't just go through Flash and Parting without bringing up the fucking
Rain versus
ceremony.
Zest?
No, the ceremony.
Oh, the ceremony? Yeah,
Sick, you fucking got out the ball and started kicking it around.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for it on Reddit. I should have added before.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's like, after Parting, BMing Flash and doing all the ceremonies, that's just get fucked Parting.
Yeah, okay, I have it right here. Alright, let's see if it fits. So, Flash basically wrote the name of every player. Well, I guess the staff did it for him. The name of every player on SKT football, and kicked it in the crowd. And then I think it was one guy with his girlfriend that caught it and kept it. But
Yeah, that's relevant.
I wish I could have been that guy. That's so cool of Flash. But yeah, that's one thing this year that, you know, the players are really understanding that StarCraft 2 is a little bit struggling in Korea, and they're trying extra hard to make ceremonies and make it interesting. And I think that's really, really cool of them. And the teams too, you know, when Action had the dinosaur suit and he was getting beat on by Flash. You guys caught that, right?
Yeah, and Star's coming out with the Darth Vader suit.
yeah. That was pretty crazy. So I can't wait for next season. I don't know if they're gonna start it in December or a little bit earlier. There's also the Kispa Cup coming up in September that Kispa is hyping a lot. And apparently there's gonna be some qualifiers for EU and NA. But I don't have any details here. Is there anything you guys want to talk about Pro League before we move on?
Yeah, the other games.
Oh, the other
Yeah,
games?
the other games.
Okay. So the next was Rain versus Zest. What did you think of it, Harstem?
It was the Phoenix game on King Sejong, am I right? It was such a weird game.
Yeah.
Because builder-wise, I think Zest was winning.
Mm-hmm.
He started out with more Phoenixes. And then he went into Colossus, but didn't keep on producing Phoenixes, which I think was his mistake. If you have the Phoenix lead, I think it's always good to keep on producing Phoenixes, because you'll have air control, you'll have map control, and you'll be able to kind of... Normally what happens in Phoenix against Phoenix is either both of them go like mass Phoenix and start getting the Fleet Beacon for the range upgrade, or one of them will transition out to most likely Blink, because he's behind in Phoenixes. Oh shit, my phone is ringing. Rip.
I like how you're scanning your room to see like where is it.
Yeah, wait, I fixed it.
Okay.
um, where was I starting? Right. So normally one guy switches out to Blink, and that's what Rain did. NSS responded by going Robo, but he stopped producing Phoenixes completely, which was weird. Rain got the Phoenix control and then just kind of won the game. I don't know. It was a very weird game to me. I didn't get why Zess was 2-base all-inning either, because his eco still was better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he did it without charge too, if I remember correctly, right? Like he came in with like slow zealots and blink.
Yeah.
That
like
was
two Colossus. Yeah.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
just,
much
yeah.
now it's like
Yeah, the classic versus. Do we want to skip over the ZVZs, Jona?
I think it's like notable. You can say Rain was like 5-0 like through playoffs.
Oh,
So he's like right now definitely SKT1's ace, and yeah, that's about it.
yeah. SKT has such a big roster. Like, even though this is not the roster change section, fantasy rumors of him leaving SKT, I think that would be such a great move for him. Because, like, who else are you going to replace? Like, Sulky, Parting, Rain, Sue, Classic. Like, maybe replace Dark, but then, yeah. So.
Do you guys think KT would have won before the patch as well?
Yeah, I think
Like-
so. They didn't really have much of an effect, I don't think, on like the TVPs.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Flush
Yeah,
didn't
Winter
make
Mindset
any
got
mines, did
this
he?
much, right?
No,
Tie against
no.
Classic, he obviously didn't fucking make any mines.
Yeah. And
Just 2-rexed him.
yeah, like Frost and Habitation, like those games are not that interesting because the metagame, like the Habitation game was a bit metagamey, and Habitation is no longer in the pool, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Will, what did you think
Yeah.
of the final game, TY versus Classic?
Final game was amazing. It's the best like ending you could have like possibly wanted if you're like a KT player or fan or whatever.
Why?
Because man, seeing a greedy Protoss player get 2-rex, oh man, it's so good.
Wow, that biased.
It feels good, you know, like seeing someone go Nexus first and get fucked for it feels
Do you-
good.
Do you think the coach told him to Nexus first? I feel like it's such a risky move.
No, because it's obviously all prepared. It's the fucking finals.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm not the fucking coach.
Yeah. Okay. Also, here's a shot of the crowd. There was apparently 2,000 people in the crowd at the Pro League finals. It was not on a beach, but it was on like an island of like
Floating
some-
Island, yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool though. At first they wanted to do it in a mall, which I guess wouldn't have been as awesome. So, and apparently it's an older crowd as well that's coming back with Starcraft 2. Not so much the kids; they're hooked on League of Legends. So, rip for that. But yeah, KT wins 4-2. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about Pro League?
I don't know. Maybe like how much, like how important it is for the players, like how Kespa teams are keeping a lot of their players at home and not sending them to events just
Yeah,
because
like,
of Pro League.
So a month or a couple months ago, all the CJ players decided to practice for Pro League instead of attending a qualifier for something. I
With
can't remember.
GSL, I
Oh yeah,
think
for
even.
GSL. I
GSL?
think it was
Yeah, that's
season
pretty
one.
That's pretty
big.
fucking huge for a GSL not to let your players play. I thought.
Do you
it
guys
was fucking-
think like GOM will survive another year? Like their finals are getting smaller and stuff.
Like there's like rumors, like Richard Lewis is saying they have no money and they would last like a year. He said that in his AMA on CS:GO Reddit, and I don't know. I think they probably will because I don't think Blizzard would let it happen unless Spot TV would like and Casper would like completely take over WCS Korea.
It would
But,
be
like,
a good thing, maybe though.
I think it might be a good thing, like because it kind of needs to change. I think like there's a lot of people just like floating on their reputation in Korea.
Yeah, I think one thing about GSL that sucks is they used to have these little shows about the group selection where people would just talk shit, like Parting, and you know that Parting Flash or Parting Life group where the game was on like a slower speed and like Parting won. Like there was so much trash talk with it was like Parting, Life, Flash, and some other guy. It was like the group of that like last year.
Innovation.
Yeah, so those group selection things were great for storylines and stuff. So yeah, it makes sense that GSL is struggling a little bit. Also, one thing that I want to talk about Pro League is obviously it's not feasible, but the semifinals being best of three in terms of like 3 matches, is so much better than just
Yeah.
one final.
Especially with the Pro League like format, with the where you pick your players against each other player instead of all kill like you see in foreign online cups sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, they
That's
have like
a hell of a lot better. It's an actual team game instead of
Mm.
whoever's got the best innovation.
But but they have like one. Yeah. But they have one all-kill match in the best of 3, which like spices it up. Like you saw Parting do well here.
Yeah. And what's interesting as well with the we were talking about CJ players not doing GSL, and then you see CJ doing really well in Pro League. They got quite far now. They got to round 2 of the semi-finals, whatever. They almost, well, Maru beat them, but they got quite far. So I think that's interesting as well. Like, don't know what you think about it.
Now they got Bjorn as well.
Yeah, CJ have got really strong players now, especially with Hydra as well and Bjorn.
Yeah, and Effort making a comeback. But we'll get to well, let's get into that right now, because I'm a man of many transitions. Effort with the group, Effort with the group A of last week, coming in first, over Classic, the winner of last season, and over SOS and Shine. So that was well, he beat Classic and then he beat SOS. He didn't play Shine, but great games from Effort. You know, he was one of the oldest players.
Yeah, and he really stepped it up in the last rounds of Pro League. You could see he's definitely improved again. Like at the beginning of Out of the Swarm or at the end of Wings, you could see Effort was one of the better players. Then he kind of dropped off mid-season and through the first season of Pro League with SC2 Hybrid Pro League, I think. But now he's really gotten his like groove back. He's quite good now.
Yeah. Is there any matches that stood out to you guys with SOS, Effort, Shine, and Classic? Harstem, Jona?
I think
can't really remember
Effort
the
is all
games.
in.
Yeah, I
I
can't
think
remember.
Effort like Roche all in every game, and somehow it worked. I have no idea how.
Yeah, Effort's super aggressive. He would go early pool and early speed and just like get lings in somehow and just do damage. Just fucking follow it up with Roach Hydra.
Yeah, I didn't watch the entire group, so.
Yeah, it was a lot of games last weekend. So this was August 6th, about 5 days ago. One thing that's really interesting and that I want to focus a little bit more on is the Terrans Can Stop Crying. Cure Innovation, Maru in Reality, making it over Protoss's. Thoughts?
Before you say anything, I think it's pretty clear, like, the better players advance. It's not Terrans Can Stop Crying.
No,
Like, Cure and Innovation right now are a hell of a lot better than Youngster can fucking Paralyze. And I think Reality and Trap, they're quite even, but Hush is nowhere near Maru in Reality, I don't think.
Trap's better than Reality.
I think they're equal, you know, like, Trap's quite equal.
Trap's
in my
really
opinion,
good,
anyway.
man.
Yeah, in Pro League, you see him, he is their ace. He's Khan's Terran ace, in my opinion.
I think TVP has like been okay for quite a while, but Terran has been disappearing because of like TVZ for a long time, and now you kind of see it bounce back.
Didn't Trap win MLG?
Not
Yeah.
when MLG, I think MLG wasn't that strong,
Trap's
though, was it
really
really?
good.
Well, you had like.
Yeah, I think all these players in this group could have like advanced really, Trap, Hush, and Reality and Maru. But Maru was the only one that was a sure thing, and then Reality, Trap, and Hush, it was like a toss-up.
Well, Trap beat the hungover Violet, and then he beat the Polt, who couldn't figure out how to beat him at MLG. But I still like how Trap plays in some of the Pro League matches he had. But I don't like the trend of the Phoenixes. Like, it worked kind of okay on Alter Zeme and like bigger maps, but what do you think, Harstem? Do you do the Phoenixes with the Colossus style?
Yeah, man. That's all I've been doing.
Right. So is that sarcastic?
No, I'm
No?
a big fan of it.
Okay,
It's
so
very...
sell it to us. I'm a
Sell it?
non-believer.
Alright. Alright. Imagine you're like rank 50 GM and you're playing against a rank 70 GM, right? You know you're better, but this guy's probably gonna pull some bullshit on your ass.
Yeah, like sold the CVs.
Well, not just some stupid stuff. Yeah, I know it's gonna. I don't know, and it's gonna be something stupid. You're opening up Oracle, then you go into Phoenixes, into Colossus. Like, you're safe. Dropping you is gonna be very hard. So like Doom drops are not gonna be able to catch you out of position. Even in the early game, like, you can chase away medevac. Like, no stupid, I don't know, like Widowmine drops, or it's even good against Hellions and stuff like that. Like, it's insanely safe. It's very strong. And even if you're not just better than your opponent, like, if they don't completely have a perfect game plan on how to deal with it, like how to beat Phoenix Colossi 101, then they're most likely gonna lose because it's extremely strong. And there's so many different variations as well. We saw Myungsik go up to 10 or like 9 Colossi sometimes, like shit ton of Phoenixes. And other players transition to Templar quicker or go quicker upgrades, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the strong part about it. You can like transition, and you can with the new maps, especially on what's the new map called? Deadwing.
Deadwing, yeah.
You can just get 4 bases and transition into anything you want, and you can just keep doing it. That's...
Yeah, it's really good. And the only downside that I see is that it can be a bit tricky to stop certain timings if you transition out of it too early. I think the final game. Wait, who was it? Like it was the final game of the group. I think we saw something like this. It was no, it wasn't Deadwing.
Reality
remember.
versus Trap? Nimbus?
I can't remember. One guy did like a timing and just kind of killed it. I can't remember what map or who it was, but it was in Group B. I'm pretty sure because Group B was like.
Yeah, it was the same thing every game in Group B. It was all PvT, and they all did Phoenix Colossus apart from like on Overgrowth. I think Myungsik against Innovation, he like switched it and just went 3 Colossus into High Templar and rolled over Innovation, I think.
Right, and I think it was pretty clear what happened. Like first time he played the Phoenix Colossus against Innovation, like Innovation didn't have the perfect plan yet, and then he had some time to think after that, and then just kind of rolled it. Because even though it's very good, I think if the Terran plays like without mistakes, I think they're gonna win. They don't even have to play like perfect micro-wise, but just like without big mistake. Like you can't lose 2 drops because then you lose the game. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very passive. Have to get a lot of turrets, planetary fortress, whatever, and just kind of sit back until you have the perfect army with low SCV count.
Was
and
it
then
in
Phoenix?
GSL or Proleague? Maru was playing against it, and he like proxied. He started proxying turrets outside the 3rd on Frost.
Yeah.
And then he got a planetary, and it was just fucking amazing to see. Like someone using like buildings and shit just to like push a Protoss. It was quite cool to see. I don't know if we'll see more of that if Maru starts playing more Protoss, and we'll see. But yeah, that's just a slight thing.
I think it's good because the only disadvantage basically with this build is that you don't have any real good like units that can kill Vikings if they're safe above something, which is turrets. So if there's Vikings above turrets, you can't really attack into it. If you attack into it, the turrets will murder you. And if you don't attack into it, slowly but surely the Vikings will start murdering you. So I felt like in the first series that Innovation played, he didn't build enough turrets and just wasn't clean enough in his execution of what he did. Like he lost a few units left and right. He didn't play, like, it sounds stupid, but you should really play as close to perfect as possible against this, more so than against other builds of Protoss. Because a comeback is not very likely to happen against this style. It's a very unforgiving style for both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it was mostly the same for both groups, the same play styles. This week, do you want to cover every group, Will, or like do you want to do all 5, or just talk about the ones that are played this week?
Just do this week if you want.
Okay, so there's Group D, E, and F. A lot of Protosses, a lot of Zergs. Only one Terran, Byung, but he's pretty good, so he has good chances. So in the first group we have Sulky, Terminator, Stats, and Byung.
Yeah, so if you want to just go like top 2 quickly, who do you
Yeah.
think it is?
Top
So
2.
you, me,
Okay.
Kevin, Jona.
I like Stats, but Byung and Sulky is too good.
Yeah, Byung and Solf are key for me as well. Like, Stats and Terminator have been doing well, but Byung is definitely the most interesting Terran. Like,
Yeah.
he does crazy builds. He's been going mech against Protoss.
I don't know, man. TY and his proxy in his builds versus Terran or Protoss is also very interesting. You can't say Byung is the most interesting Terran.
Yeah, but Byung has been more consistent, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kevin, I don't know what you think.
Byung Sulky, I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
It's funny though, like Stats,
Jona?
I didn't think... Oh wait, man, I'm gonna tell a story about Stats now.
Okay, just tell a story, Kevin. Go on. I got carried away.
Yeah, I got carried away. Like, all right, my man Stats. I remember back when I was in Taiwan, Stats wasn't that good because he was like rank 80 GM, and he would be the guy that if I would play him, I would like, nice, I'm gonna gain some ranks, and then like a month after I left Taiwan, like he started stomping Pro League. Like, I have no idea what the guy did, but he got so good quickly, which I think is insane because...
It's clearly all those points he lost against him.
Yeah, like, I just kept on winning against him. It was like, nice, free win. Then I saw him play, and it's like 10 times better. And we're like, shit, what did I do wrong, or what did he do right? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that was my story. It wasn't a very good story.
And
Sorry.
maybe everyone in the KTLs teased him for losing to a foreigner, so he got really mad.
I actually started practicing.
Yeah. So, what about you, Jona? Young, sulky, stats?
I don't know, man. Like, I want to believe in Sulky, but I'm like slowly losing faith. Every time he plays lately, it's just like so disappointing. And he plays really well, like mechanically, but he just doesn't seem to know how to win at this point, which is disappointing. So I think Viviong stats.
Do you think he has the Jaedong syndrome? Like, you know how Jaedong was like really good for a long time, but he couldn't get his shit together, ZVP? Do you think Sulky is starting to have a little bit of that problem?
I feel like he's like trying too much, like, to make the Swarmos thing work that's not working anymore. So I hope he just does like Muta or some stupid timings and wins against the Protoss.
Well, if he doesn't do Muta, do you think he'd be good at Ling Ultra?
Maybe on like a super big map, like turtle with it, get a lot of bases, bank, and then like do a switch or something. But on like smaller maps, I don't know. If Protoss plays right, I don't think that style can work.
Okay. So we have Group E, the Protoss Fest, and Rogue, one of the most underrated Zergs. Well, two casuals at least. And the Protoss group is pretty stacked. Hurricane underdog, Rain and Zess, best Protosses, Zess winner of Season 1, right? So, Harstem, what do you think about this group? Who's top 2 in your heart or head?
I don't know, man. The group's hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Rain.
Yeah.
And gonna be Zest. Yeah.
Rip, Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue's out, man. Sorry. You gotta go. Gotta go, Rogue.
Gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. I can't help it.
You're the Protoss.
Yeah, nah, like Zest and Rain are just. I feel
Yeah,
like
Zest
Rain
and
can
Rain
be
are
abused hard
definitely-
though.
Yeah.
I always feel so bad for Rain. Like he's this sick macro. Like he's the only macro Protoss in the world that always, like, almost always plays macro.
Yeah.
And people just like abuse him, build like 95 drones because they know that he's gonna play Phoenix Colossi or some other stupid shit where he doesn't attack. And somehow, some way, he still manages to win games. Like he's so insanely good. I really think he picked the wrong race. You know, as a Protoss, you gotta be a bit. You know, you gotta lose your shame. You gotta be a bit twisted in the head, start doing all-ins left and right. This guy just plays it like it's Terran, you know? Same every game, doesn't give a shit. And, well, sometimes it works out for him, but sadly, a lot of the times it doesn't. I really hope we're gonna see him do well again this season.
Okay. Jonah, what's your thoughts on Rogue? Do you think he has a chance to make it out of this group?
I don't know, Rogue was on the uprise like quite a while ago. He was rank 1 on Korea ladder, and he was winning in Proleague, but lately that's been going downhill a bit again, and I haven't seen him perform particularly well anymore. I think he has a shot, but I definitely would put my money on Rain and Zed.
Okay. You know, Hurricane came from FXO. Hurricane was like, you know, he was probably doing the dishes with FXO. Then,
No, he was definitely FXO's top player, and then he just moved. He's not dishes on FXO or whatever
But
team he was on.
GSTL was like the special kids league for a while, man. Like when Hurricane
Yeah,
was
so-
doing...
Everyone was doing the dishes in fucking GST.
Yeah, I know, but like
Like-
my point is like I'm rooting for Hurricane because you know he went from the bottom and now he's here. You know, he made it to Kespa. He's living the dream. So I want
Yeah,
Hurricane to make top 2. What about you, Will?
Yeah, Rain and Zest.
Okay,
Sure.
Hurricane fighting, guys. Last group is Dongrigu, who recently won Redbull. Stork, who recently streamed to 3,000 viewers on Twitch. And Sue and Trust. So who are we rooting for? Who do you guys think are going to win? We'll start with Jonah, since there's a lot of Zergs. Talk to me, baby.
Sue is just really, really good, and I don't see him not going through this group. Like, every time I doubt him, he gets to the finals, so this time I'll just agree with him getting through.
Yeah.
DRG has been, like, super good for quite long, but just can't push it to results. Like, every time he's streamed, like, even though it's, like, very occasional, he's always top 16 in Korea, and he keeps, like, seeming to become good again, and then the moment you start believing, he starts losing, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
that feeling.
And Stork kind of has the same thing, where he like seems to get really good and then suddenly starts losing again. So I think it's between those two, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, I put my money on Stork because Stork has been
I-
at home and Dongrigo has been traveling.
I kind of agree, and I need some more like sad Dongrigu and Stalk clips for my videos. But I think Sue and Trust will get through. Like, Trust is really bad in Pro League, but in individual leagues, he's been like destroying qualifiers, and in GSL, he's been looking really good. And Sue needs another second place.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
that's true. Trust's qualified for Redbull, but he couldn't go because of passport issues.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Kevin?
So-
Yeah, it's gonna be Dongrigu and Su. Store keeps on disappointing me, man. Like, so annoying. I really want him to do well, but he always loses, which makes me sad. Trust, I'm not sure. I just feel like Dongrigu, it just came from a win. It's gonna be like a walk in the park to win this group for him,
But-
man. He's gonna get first, Su second.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, like, Dongrigo just probably left yesterday or today from California. So, like, he's gonna get home, like, 2 days, all jet lag, tired as hell. I don't know. I've stopped believing in Dongrigo since the first season of OSL that Rain won. Like, at that point, I was done believing in him. So I'm gonna go with Stork and Sue. And that wraps up the GSL. A lot of good matches. Hopefully, we get Tasteless and Artosis to cast. Otherwise, it'll be sad Codas days. Let's see what else on the topic we have. So yeah, let's go into DRG and Red Bull. There was Red Bull Global. In case you guys didn't know, Red Bull Battleground Global had 5 qualifiers. No, 3 qualifiers and 2 players each. There you go. I got my act together. And so it was MMA, Solar, MPEC, Hydra, Dongrigu, and Pult. No Protoss, so me and Harstem are stranded here. But basically, the last Red Bull Battleground that had this format, every player has 3 lives. And usually on the first day, a lot of players pick on one player to eliminate him and make more money. And Pult and MMA lost a lot of lives on day 1. And what did you think of day 1? What did you think of the players in general, Feedme and Jona?
Well, I think it's interesting that the 2 Terrans are foreigner Koreans, like Pulse and MMA. They've really dropped off. Like, they had some decent games and like good comebacks as well, but like the Zergs there are all proper Koreans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have these Koreans who go to the other regions for easy brackets and easy WCS points, just ruining the whole WCS. And then you got these 4 Koreans just come in and absolutely stomp them. Even DRG, who's like semi-going foreign, I guess. But yeah, like the first day, you just see the TVTs and the TVZs, and you just see them get absolutely destroyed. Pult won against DRG, but that was like pretty much it. He was done after that.
Okay. What about you, Jona?
I don't know. I think this format is like very hard to display skill, especially when there's only 2 matchups. People can like watch other people's games
Mm-hmm.
and then instantly pick that player, so they have like a mind game advantage, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like skill-wise and how good someone is and what kind of shape is very hard to like see from a format like this. And already being the format as it is, there were like a lot of Zergs, so like that makes it even harder to like look at someone's shape. So I feel like it's nice for DRG he won, but doesn't say much, and I hope he does well. Like,
Would you?
Yeah. Wait, so add to that, yeah, like it's a nice change of tournament
it's
format.
like, yeah, it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch until it got to ZVZ. Like,
Yeah, the
it was
last.
it's a really fun to watch because you get to like know the players and whatever, all the casual shit. Like, it's fun to watch.
Would you say to improve the format, you couldn't do qualifiers and you'd have to invite 2 of each race?
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would be pretty good because the qualifiers are a bit pointless. I know Jona.
The qualifiers were stacked. We can look at them real quick. Harstem did really well in each of the qualifiers, making it to the quarterfinals, losing to Impact 1-2, beating Hart, beating MC. All Koreans made it to like the quarterfinals except Snood, Harstem, a few exceptions. But yeah, the qualifiers were stacked. But if you don't have race diversity, like I wanted to watch Red Bull. I love Rotterdam, I love Todd, I love Nathanius, but if there's no Protoss, like what's the point, So I think this format would be best if they do it based on invites, so they have like really good race diversity. Do you guys think it's okay to do invites for a tournament like that, or? Because Harstem, I said that and you didn't look happy.
No, I prefer qualifiers, but I get it because to be fair, like I didn't watch the final game.
Yeah.
I don't really care about ZVZ. It's
Yeah.
probably better to do a few invites at least.
Okay.
But on the other hand, like the qualifiers got a shit ton of viewers as well. I think like some of the qualifiers probably got more viewers than the main event.
Yeah,
Was
but then again, they were competing with Destiny, so that didn't help.
That's true.
Do you think
ZBC
they
didn't
should,
really
like,
help with
limit-
viewership. Sorry, Jonah, carry on.
Do you think they should limit the amount of times you can pick a certain player, especially on like day 1 and 2? Like,
I think that's where the gimmick comes in. It's quite interesting to see people like start shit talking each other and being like, "Hey, I'm gonna pick you," blah blah blah.
that's true. But like, what if like 3 people are like friends coming in? You know, like if it develops during the tournament, it's fine. And if like friends start bashing on each other, but if like people are legitimately like picking other players like as a scheme to like knock them out, it gets a bit iffy.
I think it's okay, seeing as it's not like a serious tournament. It's no WCS points. It's only money, But like, I get what you're saying, but I just think it's because it's a nice change from other
It's fun
tournaments.
to watch. Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of it. It's like there's no actual seriousness of it. It's like it's just a fun tournament.
Yeah, it's still some nice money though. You know, Dongrigo going home with almost $4,000 plus gets a spot for Redbull Battleground DC. So it's nice. It's really nice of Red Bull, and yeah, like Harstem was saying, the qualifiers get a lot of viewers, which is nice exposure for the Koreans, for us, trying to beat the Koreans, trying to achieve the impossible.
Yeah. Wait, to add on to it, like, because last time they did it with NA only, right? They could, instead of doing this qualifier thing, they should just do it NA, and then they should do it like Korea, and then they should go to Europe and get the European players and just the Korean players instead of having Korean in the United States. So, you think it's a fun tournament? There's not much point to having a huge qualifier. They could just do it region-based for once.
Yeah. Or
like, I'm not one for like picking.
Yeah, but listen to me. So they did 3 qualifiers, right? And the top 2 from each qualifier got a spot. What if they did 1 spot for NA, 1 spot for EU, 1 spot for Korea, and then 3 qualifiers where the winner goes there? So like 3 more Koreans.
But none of them can speak English to each other, so what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like for the first Red Bull Battleground, they had like the drama with Hudbid and Huck and Scarlet and Major and Violet, and then Violet lied to Huck or whatever, and then they didn't group up on Violet, and then I think it was like Huck that got eliminated early on. That was great drama. That was a great storyline. But since they're all Koreans, that limits the options. So I think we're gonna jump right into Destiny tournament, unless there's anything more about Red Bull you guys want to talk. No? Okay, alright. So the Destiny tournament, so there's a few questions I want to start with. But the tournament was hosted by Destiny, organized by Destiny, a few casters, Todd, Nathanius, and Control QXC, Total Biscuit, and Minigun. If you didn't watch the tournament, here's the spoilers. Innovation winning 5-1 versus Huck. Top 4, Apocalypse and Kane. I want to talk about the format, which is 8 ladder invites. And I want to ask you, Jona, and Harstem, why you guys didn't try to qualify. Come on. What happened?
I have better things to do, like practicing for WCS.
But now that you saw that he can peak 20,000 viewers, are you interested?
No. Like, I'm not going to play on the NA ladder. It's going to be a huge waste of time.
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured, but I had to ask. Well, there was Adominus, the only European, I think, trying. Or maybe more tried, but they failed. So the 8 players that made it into the ladder were Apocalypse, Minigun, Huck, Adominus, Kane, Petrius, Guitar Cheese, and Jon Snow. And one interesting fact is the top 4 was 3 ladder players. So Kane, Huck, and Apocalypse. Of course, the bracket looks weird. I know he did it fair. You know, he did A versus D, B versus C. But it's like the Koreans in the top part, and then the foreigners in the bottom part.
It doesn't look weird at all. It's
completely
legit. You're just making a big deal out of it. It's nothing.
What? No, I'm not making a big deal out of it.
You're trying to just make some
right, you know what happened? You know what happened? Kane and Major ruined it. Because they're not supposed to beat Koreans.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like, if Paul just wins, and Life wins. Like, you know,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
what Destiny probably intended. Then it's gonna be like Korean foreigner, Korean foreigner, Korean foreigner, Korean foreigner, Korean foreigner, and then it's all good in the world. But now Major with the upset. Oh,
I think Major needs like a bit of like a shout out because he's been destroying
He's so
a lot of
good,
Koreans,
man.
and people like don't give him enough credit. And he's been like 5-0 against Pult recently or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I think it's
been,
5-0.
Yeah.
And
Also
people
an
don't
IEM,
give him
right?
enough credit.
Yeah, he's. I'm not sure. He might be one of. Like, he's the best foreign Terran, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Bunny or
better
him?
than Bunny. He's
Yeah,
better
he's
than
better
Bunny.
than Bunny.
I think maybe Bunny like kind of he didn't get lucky, but like he had Hyun's number in that game because Hyun only knows how to do fucking Roach Hydra.
Yeah.
I s-
Alright,
I don't
here's-
think.
One moment, Jonah. Here's the results of Major recently beating desRow 4-1 in a very close match, losing to losing to Hawk 2-3, beating Cham 3-1, beating Indrilist 3-2, beating Pole 2-0, beating Pole 3-0, beating Hawk 2-0. So he's been doing well in his few last Eligulac at least matches. But yeah, to go back to the Destiny tournament, go ahead, Jonah.
Oh no, I was about to say, like, I feel like desRow's like missing something still. He doesn't feel like the complete package quite yet, but he's really, really good. So I feel like I don't know, his fights don't look as like crisp as like when I see like Koreans play them. But it's like he has so many units and he keeps expanding that it works out. But I feel like if his fights would become like slightly better, he would actually be winning tournaments like nearly. Like he's really good.
You're talking about Major here, right?
Yeah, Major.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, we're talking about Dash.
Yeah, he started saying that and had a big smile. Then I realized
I was
like,
like,
oh
what are
no.
you talking about?
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, let's give you a little story about desRow. When he was playing Violet,
Yeah.
and I was giving you tips on how to beat him, because I actually watch a lot of tournaments, like Koreans and shit. And so you listen to me, and then you don't listen to me, and you fuck up the entire game. You don't build Colossus, and you lose. And this is your WCS life. I just wanna throw it out. desRow, you need to start listening to me.
So guys, if you're looking
Okay,
for
I'm
a
a professional coach, okay?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're looking for a coach, you can ask me. Ask Harstem. Since I've been giving him advice, he's gotten WCS Premier instantly. After I gave him advice, he's fucking top
Can't
one
deny.
Protoss Europe. He can't deny it.
Yeah.
Where's my advice?
Jona's next.
So one thing I really liked about the Destiny tournament is the best of 5 format and the best of 7. What?
You
No,
dodged that.
No,
didn't
no,
you?
no, I mean, like, yeah, you were right. But let's talk about the groups first. So, like you guys were saying, Major and Kane pulling the upsets. Aduminus pulling the upset versus... Well, he lost versus Snood, but he beat Innovation. Did you watch the game? Anyone?
Yeah, I watched, man.
Yeah?
My man Antonius with the proxy gate and innovation scouting the wrong location.
Oh,
That was the
yeah.
that was the funniest thing I've seen
No, it wasn't funny. It was so sad.
for so long.
Oh, it was depressing.
But yeah,
You know
no,
what would have been, you know what would have been funnier though,
What?
right? Imagine if it wasn't Force Scrolls and Antonius like just guessed the base. Like that
Oh,
would
man.
have been the sickest thing in the world.
People
There's
would
a
just
few-
be like, map pack instantly. Hasn't people people have said he's map packed before or something? Like, every
Yeah,
time I hear
because-
Adonis, it's like, oh, he map packs.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's
don't
because
think he
it's
does, though.
Israeli or something, but
No, he's very slow. He's like
Yeah.
very slow, like Elfie, like APM, and he's very good at reading the game, I guess, because he always gets a bit lucky with the build orders. So I think it's a very easy insult to throw out, but I don't believe it's true.
Okay.
There's never been any proof of it, so I don't think.
did you catch any of the Destiny 1 games, Jonah, by any chance?
No, I didn't watch much of it. And
Any of the finals, Kane versus Huck?
Kane?
Yeah? No? You're not a fan?
No, wait. Semifinal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going ahead of myself here. Sorry, guys. Alright, Group D! Huck, Huck beating Violet, beating MC, and then finishing second in his
so
group.
here's the group is showing foreigner Koreans at their finest.
The
MC is really dropping off so fast right now. He is not that good anymore, I don't think. He's like the same gimmicks over and over.
do you want to...
Violet
Oh,
Violet hasn't.
Wait.
Violet has. No, shush. Violet hasn't gotten back to where he was since his MLG days when he was like playing and winning MLG, like the little in studio things they had. He hasn't gotten back to that like standard. I don't think anyway.
Yeah.
Or he has, and everyone else has improved. Huck's improved a lot. Like he dropped off a lot, but we'll talk about that later. Carry on.
But what I wanted to say is, do you think, do you want to call out IEM for inviting MC to IEM Toronto? Because you know,
Yeah, I
when you get an invite, you get basically put in the groups. You don't have to qualify. That's a lot of WCS points for free just to be in the group. While it gives you a good chance at getting WCS points. So do you want to call them out? Feedme.
What?
Well, you weren't
I
listening.
am.
Yes, they
Well,
invited him, and
The thing
Jan-
is, like, all these tournaments invite all the interesting players that people want to see. Like the less, like, the more casual players, people, whatever viewers, they all want to watch Hyun in his Spider-Man costume. They all want to watch MC,
Mhm.
like,
MC's games
yeah,
are so boring, though. Like,
cheese people or whatever, and just win, and then come out and do a little slitting his throat bullshit. But like, it's just like this. The WCS point system is like pointless. If you invite people to any tournament, it shouldn't have any points whatsoever. There's no point.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
only open tournaments should give out, like, fully open
Open,
tournaments.
fully qualified. I mean, MC was invited because he probably like won an IEM sometime or some shit. Same with Hyun, he won probably the New York one, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're invited. But I still think they're boring as fuck. Like, who wants to see the same players over and over? Like, I get they're invited on merit by winning the IEM or whatever,
Mhm.
but it's just so boring.
So again, good job to Huck for beating MC and Violet, the Korean foreigners, as Will likes to call them. Now the playoffs had a few interesting results, like Apocalypse beating Pult, and I guess Huck beating Major, because Major has been on a roll, but I guess then so Huck has been. And any matches that stood out to you guys that we should recommend our viewers to look at?
I recommend watching Innovation 2Rex 5 games in a row. 5 or 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And the
I don't-
semifinals versus Apocalypse.
That was the Apocalypse game, sorry.
Okay. And apparently, Huck versus Major was very close games. I couldn't watch them because I was at a local tournament 2 hours away. But so yeah, and Huck beating Kane 4-2. So we had Battle of Canada, and then Innovation beating Huck 5-1. So that's it for the Destiny tournament. A few more things to talk about. Destiny doing his post-mortem on Reddit and on Team Liquid. Let me pull up, I guess, this post. One thing I don't like is feelings about not allowing Kespa to be in the next one. I don't know if you guys saw that. Harstem, Jona, did you guys get to read his post about the financial part of it?
I read most of it, but I didn't get to the part where he said anything about Kespa, so I guess I missed that.
Okay, so basically, when he reached out to Kespa, Kespa was like, you gain more from having our players than our players gain from being in your tournament. So, blah, 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 like, we're not sure we want to do this. And then Destiny didn't take it so kindly because, you know, they weren't... They might have been a little bit rude, but they were just, you know, going off, like, in a business sense. And so he doesn't really want to invite them for the next tournament, and I think it's just...
When it makes kind of sense, like, you understand it, and then, like, today or yesterday, Pui dude, he announces a tournament, and then you see Casper players in it, and you think, how the fuck has he gotten players over Destiny?
Who's Pee-wee dude?
Exactly. That's my point, right?
Who's Pee-wee dude?
Exactly.
No,
He's got a Pui Invitational who's got a sponsor from Dragon's sponsor, $1,000 Invitational or something like this.
Yeah.
He's gotten Casper plays, he's got Cure, and he's got Armani and a couple of other ones.
Yeah, but he probably
They're
didn't go
Casper
this.
players, right?
Yeah, but he probably didn't go the Kespa route.
This is exactly my point. But the thing is, was it this Chinese tournament? They went the player route and asked if the players wanted to qualify, and then Kesper stepped in.
Yeah, but
So if this Chuddinator guy, the Kesper contact, if he finds out about this Pui fucking tournament, does he pull the players? No, this is just like a fully fucking legitimate argument. Like, how come they wouldn't give Destiny players who goes through the right fucking contacts? He goes through Casper, then you've got other people who go through the players straight away and get the players to play. It's so fucked up, honestly. Like, it just makes me angry that fucking retards get away with some shit like this.
no, but like you have to understand, like his job is to make sure that the Kespa players are doing what Kespa wants, and he has.
Yeah,
to
this is not my problem. It's just being inconsistent.
He probably doesn't know about some.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
But.
But it's his
Exactly
job
what I
to
just
know.
It's his job to know, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe he's watching
Doesn't
the
he
show.
know what his players are doing?
Yeah, maybe he's watching the show and he's got a hitman on you, and now he knows about his players and that invitational, man.
Really? I doubt it.
I think it's just punishing the players. Like, if Destiny is, like, really snubbing Kespa after this reply, after this, like...
I don't think he will, because you'll see a lot of people that are, like, wanting Casper players in. It's just they'll have to go about it a different way, so I think...
Yeah, he made a poll. Let's take a look at his poll.
Yeah.
It's, dude, it's 50-50. Yeah, the pros outweighed the cons. No, after the response to the first tournament, don't invite the Kespa players. Wow.
But his personal opinion is not to invite them, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the poll is definitely skewed by people
Yes.
just agreeing with him to agree with him. So it's probably more people that would actually like to have the Kespa people there.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened with the Shotcraft at the Total Biscuit tournament. Having Flash and Byung battle it out in a best of 7. It was pretty... Like, I don't watch TVT, but seeing, like, them go out on the... It was Waystation with the island and, like, the base trade scenario. That was just great, and hopefully we can have more Kespa players play.
Wasn't Flash versus Hero the final in that tournament?
Yes, CJ Hero, yes.
Yeah, Hero won 4-2.
Yes.
Here's the thing, right? Like, thing is with some of the Casper players, they're such a, like, higher level, maybe, like, apart from Innovation, a couple of other players, that the games aren't even close, and it's not that entertaining. Whereas this format he had now, all the players are quite close, and you'll see people like Liquid Hero and Violet and MC go out in group stages. Whereas I think if it was like Zest and Sulky, they would have gone over Huck and Apocalypse.
But,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but then there's one more thing that we have to talk
That's
about.
what Total Biscuit talked about with his tournament. He wanted like an equal level
Yeah.
sort of players.
I know.
So yeah, carry on.
Yeah, he invited Hero, and Hero bummed out. But one thing that I want to talk about is, if you're not inviting Kespa, then you have to invite Violet, Polt, Major, Scarlet, and then you don't have those players playing on NA Ladder, because at the end of the day, that tournament was also to help NA Ladder. So if then you don't make Polt and Violet play on NA Ladder, the NA Ladder is even worse than it was. Like, so basically, if we look at the people that qualified for the Destiny tournament, the only player we gained, us, the NA Ladder, from playing on a ladder is Adominus. Like, no, I'm not bragging on him, but that's the only person we gained. Like, Apocalypse and Gamcha were already laddering on NA, so Adominus, thank you for helping make the NA ladder a better place. We hope to see you next Destiny tournament.
Okay,
Really
so
a better place though? Doesn't he like proxygate every game? Or, like, yeah, like,
Yeah, he just fits right in. He's one of us. Alright, my bad.
no, but like, isn't the problem with NA ladder that there's like quite a few like good players that could play NA ladder, but like don't actually put in the amount of games, and having Destiny 1 will make them ladder at least a certain amount, so
Yeah.
you have at least some competition at the top. But the problem is that once Destiny 1 is over, everyone starts playing on Korea or Europe again, and ladder is dead again, like on a high level. So
Yeah, that's...
I don't know if
Yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
sorry.
I don't know if it really helps these kind of tournaments unless it's like something longer term. That's not like you have 1 week to qualify, but you take standings like every week, and if you've been high like 4 weeks in a row, then you get a spot or something like that.
Yeah, I guess he could rearrange the way you qualify, like 1 month prior to the tournament, the top 2 of the ladder gets to qualify. So, like, for an entire month, people play on any ladder. No, Harstem, you're looking...
I was trying to figure out what you were trying to say. Yeah,
Like-
that sounds better.
It sounds better, right? So, like, once you're qualified, sure, you stop playing, but there's still, like, 6 people that can still get in, and then 4, and then 2. So that may be an option for him. And plus, that's great. That could be great for him because once a week he takes a look at the ladder and it makes it intense for the viewers, and they watch to see who makes the cut. You know, that could be an idea. He can take it if he wants, or maybe it's not great. Who knows? So next, by the way, he wants to crowdsource the next one, and he wants to raise the prize pool. He wants to raise 10,000 for the next one. I don't know what prize pool he wants to put, but I thought, you know, if you have 20,000 viewers and the winner gets 1,600, there's like a little bit of money missing in terms of like prestige, you know, because $1,600 is nice money, but for someone like Innovation, it's a drop in the bucket, you know, a little bit like when Teja cried that he was only winning $10,000 tournaments for first place at Home Story Cup. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. But so yeah, I think we're done with Destiny 1. The next...
No, I think you gotta give like a shout out, or fucking Reddit shout out, whatever. So Destiny, like, well, and the good and the bad sort of thing. Like, it was quite well organized, but then on day 3 or 4, whichever it was, where they totally fucked up and they had to get Tall Biscuit to do it or something. I think that could have been better, and they always had that one guy spamming shit in the chat. I think this is obviously like a learning curve for him, so he'll obviously do it better next time. So there's obviously going to be a next time, and I think people will donate and shit and give towards the prize money. And I think the sponsors are more interesting as well, getting more people who aren't usually in esports. So like,
I hope the prize pool isn't going to stay crowdfunded for every time though. Like, I understand like having to need a kickstart for the first few, but crowdsourcing, like the hype or like the drive behind the tournament is going to lessen slowly. Like, people are going to watch, but the like how much people actually want to like have this tournament is going to like kind of lessen a bit. So I hope he's going to be able to fund the tournament out of what he earns from the tournament eventually, instead of having to ask for donations.
I think that's good as well. But he had like a little like how Dota did their little you raise this much money, you get whatever perks out of it. So I think that's a good way of doing it, but I still agree with you with that. I think that's a good way of just raising additional money. So you get the money first from sponsors and then go for
Yeah, I mean, when he first started it, he said, like, whatever money I'll make, I'll put it in the next one. And so I thought, like, there wasn't going to be another crowdsource. But, you know, it takes a lot of guts to organize everything he did and to do it by himself. Like, he had his first blog, and he said, like, oh, it was really rough emotionally for me and stuff, and he you know, was stressed out, didn't sleep, didn't eat. So props to him for keeping it together and really hosting a great tournament and having a lot of viewers. You know, at the end of the day, it really helps out Starcraft. So he's sort of the savior for a little while with that tournament. That's really cool. But yeah, I think, you know, the greatest story really is the viewer number, and then Huck, because that's our next topic. Huck doing really well lately. That was one of the topic that Feedme shows, so maybe you can go on with
I think it's just like notable because he used to be like the top foreigner or whatever, and then he just totally dropped off, and then I don't know, he's back or whatever. Not back, but like he's not so shit anymore. You know what I mean? Because he was really fucking terrible. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, he was just all-inning and doing these stupid fucking gateway all-ins, but now he does it, but he's got a follow-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or am I just talking out of my ass?
No, I agree. His builds have been more refined mechanically. He's doing good. He played on August 6th in WCS NA, and he beat Revival 2-0. You know, Revival's pretty good. And he almost beat Violet too. He lost to him 1-2, and then he almost lost to Arium. Like, he should have lost the last game, but Arium didn't really attack with his Tempest, and then he ended up losing a game he should have never lost. But nevertheless, you know, Huck playing really well lately, and with Redbull Battleground Detroit and IEM Toronto coming up, maybe Huck can show again a lot of good results. What do you think? Sorry.
Wait, desRow.
Yeah.
I'm looking through my man Huck's League of Legends page, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing lots of wins, a few losses.
Oh yeah.
I lost to Innovation. I lost to Apocalypse. You know who the third guy is that he lost to, desRow?
I think I have an idea.
Does it start with a D and does it end with desRow?
Yeah.
And is it you?
Wow.
Yeah.
You beat him 3-1.
Yeah.
And what was it? Where did you beat him?
It was Copa.
Oh,
Nice. America.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about this maybe at the end if we add some spare time, but you know, might as well cover it just a tiny bit.
The time to brag is
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just
Top 1 NA protest, desRow.
no, I mean, okay. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you guys. There was like 0 Reddit posts about Copa, and it made me a little bit sad because for once I did like okay.
It only took you making your own show to get your own shout out.
How sad is that? How sad is that? Holy shit. Alright, so Copa, here's the playoff bracket. You know, Cats beating Suppy, kind of an upset. Me beating Huck, kind of an upset. me crushing cats and keeping the rivalry up is good for me. And then Chem beating Killer, Major beating Angelisk, very close series.
What rivalry, desRow?
I mean, you know,
Please go through the rivalry of you and cats.
No, we can't do that. I mean, you know, some people don't like each other, and then I guess me and cats are in that basket. And so yeah, I ended up losing to Major 4-1. Kind of a lackluster final. Major's pretty good. I'm not that good. But I still did decent in the playoff. So yeah, to go back to WCS America, so yeah, Ugg doing well. Do you want to cover the past matches, the next matches? What do you want to do, Feedme?
What are we talking about? I wasn't listening.
WCSNA.
WCSNA? Sure, go ahead. Do whatever.
Alright.
Getting up.
Alright. If we look at the results, Neeb, Arthur. Okay, let's talk about Arthur. I feel like that's a good story. Sad Arthur. Are we sad for him?
No.
Harstem.
What Korean there is.
Yeah. Harstem, are you sad for Arthur?
No, he only all-ins. I don't like watching players.
Oh.
And now, I think now he attempted to play macro and he lost.
Oh. But Neeb coming out second. It's his second time in the round of 16. Yeah, Neeb being on a Fnatic. That's kind of cool. Also, Aegis beating the Dinosaurs, Alicia and Nesty.
I think it's really impressive for Jaegers to do this. Like, even if Nesty's like fallen off, I don't know what fucking Alicia was doing, but I think it's notable that Jaegers got through.
Like,
and Jim, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
First place. That's really impressive.
The next group, Oz losing, Maxid losing, kind of expected. Jaedong and Pol really strong players. Pig BB winning last season, expected. Check also, and then Violent and Hug. The next three and the last group, I guess a little bit of prediction, guys. Hard Toonming, Scarlet Seed. Who's top two? Quick. Harstem.
You guys go first.
Seed and Scarlet.
Seed and Scarlet? Alright. Jona.
Scarlet and Heart.
And Heart? Alright. Will.
So Scarlet and Heart, and then do you want me to do the rest now?
No, I have to talk. I want to root for Seed, but... okay, Scarlet and Seed. Alright, Group G. We have Teja, Zigwa, Ero, and Angelisk. Jona, what do you think is top two?
Zigwa.
Okay, well?
Teja, Angelisk.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta be nice, don't I?
Yeah.
Angelisk.
Teja and Sigua.
Oh, no one picking Ero so far. Well, I'm not a believer either. So, Teja and Zigwa. Group H, Bomber, Major, Puck, Slam. Who's gonna get Slam in that group?
You go first, desRow.
Okay, I'll go first. Puck's a really nice guy, but Major and Bomber, this is just really tough TVPs. So, yeah, Major Bomber. Will?
Major Bomber.
Harstem?
Wait, let me think. Who opens against who? Right. Bomber Slam. Bomber's gonna win that one. Major Puck. Major's gonna win that one. Then it's gonna be Major Bomber. Major's winning that one. And then Slam Puck. Puck wins. Puck Bomber. I think Puck wins. So I think it's Major Puck.
Oh my god. Jonah. Have you...
Major Bomber.
Okay. Alright, so that concludes WCS NA. The next topic is... Oh yeah, I need to get to switch it. Okay, alright. The next topic is the roster changes. So we're gonna put my man Harstem on the grill. Zenster and Ignite being removed from a Fnatic.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
okay, so obviously from an outsider point of view, I think Zenster was becoming one of your best players. Doing really well in the Swedish National League.
Yes, he won this.
Yeah.
He won the Swedish National League.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive. I think lots of people prepare quite hard for it, even if not like the biggest names play in it anymore. Like there's no Nani anymore. Or, there's still a lot of preparation and tournaments
there's a
like
shit
this.
ton of money as well, right?
Yeah, like 10k. He won $10k. which is a lot of money. So obviously they're gonna prepare very hard for it. Yeah, I'm very sad that both of them left. I'm at Ignite for the first time like 2 months ago at a Dutch event where I took second, where I took like fifth. So he's also getting a lot better, especially at playing tournaments. I'm just quite sad that both of them got cut from the team. I'm a very close friend with Zanster. He has been improving a lot. Lately he's been in a bit of a slump. Didn't qualify for WCS once again.
Yeah.
So that sucks a lot.
What did he play? I thought he had a really tough match.
No, he didn't qualify for Challenger.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's quite understandable with Ignite or Pink, whatever he was used to be called. Like, he wasn't showing as many like improving results, but I think Zanster is like definitely the most up and coming-ish foreigner, apart from these like cheesy ass Shaq and all these people.
Oh my god.
I think like Zanster is like a player you should have probably kept onto.
Yeah, I am really like surprised they let go of Zanster. I don't think that's fair. Like, I think he's on par with Mini, and Mini's staying because he's in Premier, but I don't think that's doing that's like fair to how talented Zanster is. So that makes me kind of sad, and I hope he gets a good result and picks up a new good team to like carry on.
Yeah, I was really hoping Zanster would do better, and then not making WCSs sucks for him. It was probably the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to negotiating, and it makes sense too that Fnatic would get rid of some of the players they have, because you guys had a no, but like in terms of like Starcraft and esports and
No, I was
budget...
laughing at what fucking Pewee dude said. What a fucking weirdo. Carry on.
Okay. Wow. Oh yeah, he's the caster, and I guess he didn't know. Well, I guess he learns on the show. Starcraft 2 Remax for your Starcraft news. So yeah, that's some of the roster changes for the EU side of things. We have Prime picking up a big sponsor, KTF. It's a firefighter special contractor in Korea, something like that.
How did IM die and Prime get a sponsor? Like, I don't get it.
I think someone said the coach of IM was sick, so...
That's like really sad though, because Coach Kang for IM has been like he treats like he treated GSTL like it would be like a proving grounds for younger players. And then he would like breed these 1v1 tournament players who would just like totally destroy. Like Seed and MVP and Nesty, they all came through IM and Losira. And remember Happy and Wings as well, he was sick. Yeah. I think it's just really sad if he just disappears from the scene.
Yeah. So yeah, I am losing everyone. The only person left on their Wikipedia is Lucky, and I think just everyone forgot about him or something. What
the fuck?
Like, I guess like he didn't bother to announce that he left, but anyway.
He bought the house. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna rebuild the team with Lucky. But yeah, MVP picking off the leftovers from IM. Recruiting Younghwa, and I guess, well, that was the only player, but they picked up Younghwa, Center, Choya, Kanho, and Symbol. So MVP, MVP lost everyone. They lost Keen, Tel, Swagger, Super, Shine, Sniper, Hiva, Dongrigu, Dream, Billowy, Alive, and then they just picked up a bunch of new players. So there's just like a big shuffle in Korea, and that usually happens a lot around Pro League. Last year there was a lot of shuffle again, so... and then MVP picking up Marine King as well. So those are the roster changes that we had recently. Next topic. Well, those are like, let's see, how long has the show been on? An hour and 20 minutes. Wow. Alright, so guys, I'll take this time to tell you, if you want your question answered on the show, Starcraft 2 Remaxed on Twitter. We'll be looking at the questions after the next few topics. Why don't we take a break, guys? You can grab some water, go to the bathroom. That way I'm not keeping you guys hostage.
Yeah, I'm going for a piss. Perfect.
Alright, so we'll see you guys in 3 minutes.